Hello friends, Cheryl here with inkedpulp. We're going to do a fun project today. I saw this on a Facebook reel and I thought, oh, it just looked like so much fun that I had to try it. And I'm going to do it. This is Janet Young's Scavenger Hunt for 2026. It runs from now until April 1st. And you try to get as many as you can, and if you get at least 90, you'll go in a drawing for a prize. So I haven't started yet, although I am making my journal. Let me see if it's dry down here. The theme for this year, it looks like it's... The theme for this year is vintage candy and treats. So this is the journal that I created, and I'm not quite done. I want to put like a ribbon around this. And one of the things, and then I've got this paper on the inside. I'll put a pocket here so I can put this. I think what I might do is shrink this down a little bit and put it on some coffee dyed paper so it looks a little nicer. And what Janet did that I thought was a great idea is she puts her signatures in with plastic so she can take them out and work on them outside of the book. So today we're just going to make ephemera, so it doesn't really matter. But this is going to be my journal for the scavenger hunt this year. I'm really excited about this. So what I'm going to do for today, there are no pressed flowers listed on here, but hang on a second. Willy Wonka lace, googly eyes, random useless fact, put a bird. I'm looking for something in nature because that's what where something from nature. And I'll show you what that is in a minute. And then I want to do these tea bag papers. And there isn't one on here, but I think what I'm going to do is there is one that says tissue paper. And I'll find it on here. I don't want to take a whole lot of time for this, but I'll find tissue paper. I'm going to count that as tissue paper. And what I'm going to do, with all of these tea bags, and I've even got these little pieces that I tore off the sides if I want to use them. But what we're going to do is take some tea bags, and I just happen to have purchased these. I had for a while. I didn't like those as well, but I happen to have purchased a whole bunch of pressed flowers. And so I saw this on, like I said, on a Facebook. Ooh, I like the orange. There's some pink and yellow and all kinds of colors in there. And I like this off-white. I don't know how well it will show up with the tea bag, but what we're going to do is take the tea bag. And in this case, well, I could either lay out the flowers long ways, or we could fold it in half and make a smaller piece. So this is going to be ephemera. And what we're going to do, let me find my PVC glue. We're going to put a little bit of this in, and not much, but just a little bit of water so it spreads a little easier. Okay, and what we'll do with this is put the flowers down, put some glue down, lay the flowers on it, and then fold this over and glue on the top as well. So let's see. Let's do our first layout. Let's find something in this pack. Let's find... Okay. Where did I put my big scissors? I can use the little ones, but I'd rather use the big ones. Okay. We'll just use the little ones. All right, so we'll open these up. And then what I'll do is take some, yep, there's a piece of paper over it. And then I'll take some tweezers. And we'll kind of do a layout before we put the, I like these. If we did something like that. Let's just do one. We could do something like that. And then these things are so fragile. Oops, I just lost a piece. We can just fold it over and it'll become translucent. I actually kind of like that. Okay. So let's put that aside for just a second. And all right, let's put those back on. Let's put the little green right there. And then that little purple flower. I'm going to kind of go minimalist on these. Well, goodness sakes, I can't pick that one up. I lost a few of the pieces, but that's all right. Let's see if I want to glue on this inside first. I'm doing this for the first time, you guys, so I'm learning right along with you guys. Now this is supposed to turn translucent. I'm not seeing that just yet, but we'll see what happens. I guess it is somewhat because I can see the magazine through there. So I'll make sure I get enough glue on the Yeah, I think once it dries, it'll be fine. All right, we'll set that there to dry, and I'll get out the heat gun in a minute when we get a few of these done. Then one other thing I was thinking about doing is maybe running one or two of these through the embossing machine once it's dry. All right, let's put this one away. What did I do? There it is. Keep them as non-damaged as possible. I really liked this yellow and orange. Let's see if we can do something with this. And how about we take a bigger one and put them over like that. And let's see what we have in here that we could use. I'm kind of talking to myself on here. I can tell my voice is getting very low. All right, let's see here. I wanted to look at some of these pieces in the back. And once they're dry, if I need to cut them down a little, if they're too tall, I certainly can do that. Oh, I like this one too. All right, let's put those two like that, and then how about if we put one like that. I like it. I like it a lot. And then I've got, these little yellow ones. I'm wondering if I put these, that's getting kind of towards the edge there. What if I put some of these at the bottom in a little cluster? Maybe this is too much. I don't know. It might be too much. But it brings the yellow down. It balances out the yellow a bit. I don't know. I kind of like it. Okay. Let's put some glue down. So we're going to have that. We're going to have that. Going to have that. And then these three. All right. Let's get to making. Let me put these away first so I don't ruin them. Because y'all know I have a propensity for doing that kind of stuff. Doing stupid stuff and then it ruins. Like this. Let my brush sit on the flowers. Come on. Come on, little guy. right, let's put this in here. And then this goes back in here. Oh, I think this was supposed to go over the front, so it covered the whole thing. Duh, Cheryl. I'm still learning about this whole craft thing. I'll tell you guys what, sometimes I think I'm like losing my mind. All right, let's put down a good layer of glue. Now you'll notice that my tea bags aren't exactly square, and that's okay because, and I'm also not getting them without 100% without wrinkles. All right, so let's see here. We have this like this. Let's go up a little bit. We had that like that. And then we had that one on there like that. I like it. And I do like these little yellow ones down here too. So let's do 1, 2, and then this little guy here. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? Now, let's put this over the top, squish it down, and then I think this glue will soak through the page. Oh yeah, those are becoming translucent. It's still a little white in there because the glue isn't 100% dry, but I think it's going to be just fine once it's dry. The lady I watched on TV, hers showed up really well. All right. Come on, don't stick on me now. Oh no, oh no. Oh no! Maybe I should have done it right on the mat so it didn't stick. Oh, there we go. There we go. I think I'm not going to do it on this anymore, on this glue book, because I'm going to have to do a little bit of repair on this. And I hope it doesn't stick to the mat. I don't think it will. Of course, I could have put down some wax paper. That smaller one came up just fine, but it was less surface area to pull up, so. All right. This one is still wet, but look at how nice that one's coming out. It's still got the white spots, but let's do another one. I like these colors, the blues and purples. Here's some more blues and purples. Oops. All right, let's do another one where we just fold it over. And I'm looking for some lighter colored tea bags. Usually I like to get them really with some good patterns in them, but for this exercise, I think the lighter the better. Let's use this one. Okay. Let's find some pieces that we can use. So yeah, I saw this woman do this. I'm like, oh, that looks so much fun. And so me, I had to go overboard and order all the packs of pressed flowers that I liked. What that's for. All right, let's see. What do we have? I know there was one in here that I wanted to use. I think this is a lilac stem? Yeah, I'll have to cut it off a little bit. Okay, I like those two. Okay, go back down in there. So yeah, don't break off. Okay, and then I don't know if there's anything here. I've got kind of some blues over here. That I like. This one we're going to have to cut off. Oh, now what about using the rest of this? I'm not sure about this greenery. Not quite sure about that one. Let's see if we have some other greenery. And I know a lot of these have some greenery behind. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. I think maybe just these three pieces are going to be nice. My dog just came down and she's growling at me. What do you think about that? I like that. Oops, I'm way down off of camera. I like, oh, don't do that. All right. I like those three. So let's put some of this down. And then let's put this back on. Let's see, we had that like that. We had that like that. And then this one right here. I like it a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. So let's put some glue down. I suppose you could do this with matte medium. You could do it with anything. I'm just using PVA glue that has a little bit of water in it to make it a little more spreadable. Okay. You can actually pull out some of the wrinkles with this paintbrush, which is really nice. I don't mind a few wrinkles. All right. Let's move this one up here to dry. And let's do one more. Let's do one with just a great big flower in the middle. Like, not any of these. I've got some other ones with big. I don't know. This flower right here might be a good one. Let's put this back in here. And the one I want is this one right here that's got some purple. It is white in the middle, but it's got some purple around the edges. I'm surprised, other than the real tiny, the ones with the real little leaves on them, I'm really surprised at how sturdy these flowers are. They're not, well, that one lost a leaf, but, or a petal, which we can put back on. They're really holding up well. And I'm pleased with that. All right, let's just do this one with a big flower in the middle. Let's see here. Let's find a good bag for that one. How about this one here? I'll just put that one right in the middle, right smack in the middle, with nothing else. And that should just about use up our glue. And then we'll take a heat gun to them and dry them. So you can find lots of pressed flowers on Amazon. I'll put links in the description box to the ones that I bought if you want to buy the same ones. And those links will be affiliate links. So if you purchase from those links, I do get a small commission, very small, pennies. But it doesn't cost you anymore. They just pay me a tiny bit for referring you. So I'll put links in the description box to the, come on. Can't get this one petal to play nice. All right. There's that. Danny, why are you growling at me? You ready for me to take you upstairs and go outside? She loves to go out in the front. She's got a doggy door to the backyard, which is fenced in, so she can go out there anytime she wants. But she would rather go out front because it's not fenced and she can see more of what's going on. She can watch the cars going by down on the road, and she can, I don't know, she just can see more. So she would prefer, I mean, she does go out in the back, but her preference is out front. And she comes and starts growling at us when she wants to go out front. So she came downstairs because my husband is out working in his shop. So she can't bug him to go outside. So she's down here with me, gurring at me to get me to go upstairs and take her outside. All right. There's just that one big one. So let's move that out of the way. These littler ones are easier to move. They don't, not so much surface space. All right, let's try drying up some of these. And then you could build frames for them, make them like specimen slides. You could do so much with these. Whoops. Got a little bit of glue. Oh, Lordy. You see, there I go. I am so butterfingery. I'm all thumbs. And I don't want to ruin these flowers because I'd like to be able to use them for other projects. I like this. If this turns out well, we'll finish drying the glue and see how translucent they get. If not this, I could use tracing paper. I could use vellum. I could use any number of other things. I just wanted to try the tea bags because that's what I saw being done. Okay. I was wondering if I should just get a big, box and put all these in so I could sift through them, but I don't think that's a good idea because they are fragile. And if I had to sift through all of these, I'd end up, tearing them and ruining them. So I don't think that's a good idea, and I don't think I'll do it. Oh, good. My husband just came in, so she'll go bug him to get outside. All right, let's put these away. Now, I don't want to, ooh, that's kind of cool. I don't want to dry these right on my mat because it will warp it. The heat gun gets so hot and it will warp. So, I want to bring my tile up here. Wow, this bigger one really isn't. So here's something that I'm learning. These bigger ones really stick. I'll come back to that in a minute. Let's dry this one. My heat gun, does yours do this? Like if I lay something down that's wet and I go to dry it, it leaves a big wet spot underneath it. I guess that's just the condensation. I don't know, but oh yeah, that's really use my brayer on this real quick. Make sure it's laying down properly, or that it's pressed down all the way. All right. So yeah, this one goes this way. Do this so I don't burn my fingers. All right. Let's hang this here. I suppose you could do this with paper flowers. Oh, I love that. Crinkly and the way it feels. I wish you guys could feel it. So there we go. There's the first one. It's very simple. Doesn't have a lot in it, but I like it. All right, I'm going to pause you guys for a minute because you don't need to. Okay. My Siri came on. You guys don't need to sit here and watch me just dry stuff. So I'm going to pause you and then I'll be back. All right, you guys, they're all dry. I love them. This one's too plain, I think. I'm going to use this one as an experiment to run it through the embossing machine to see what kind of raised pattern I can get with those flowers, if that works. But they're really nice and sturdy, but they're flexible with that glue on them. And they have they're just really great. Here's the big one. Now, I had a heck of a time getting it up off the mat. So it really dinged up the edges, but I actually like that. It's like a tattered edge, and if I go around and ink those, I don't know, I really like this one. I really, really, really like it. I should have put something a little more over here, but that's all right. That'd be great on the tag, wouldn't it? And then there's this one. I thought about if that other one works through the embossing machine, I might put this one through too. And then this is my favorite. Look at that. Now, a couple things I'll mention. Like I said, this one really, really, really was hard. So if you have some little hooks, something like these little hooks here, and you can hook them up and let them hang to dry, then they won't stick. The other thing is I really used my brayer a lot to push down because these aren't totally flat in some places, and it helps to really push it down so you don't get an air pocket around it. Like this one has a little bit of an air pocket, but it's not bad and it doesn't affect anything. So, oh my gosh, I love these. All right, let me get out my embossing machine. And some embossing folders. Let's see what I've got here. All right, let me look through this real quick and find, I don't want something too busy. Like that might be nice. Yeah, that one might be nice. they're spaced apart so it's not too close together. It's not too busy. I'm going to keep looking through my box. Why keep looking when I found something I like? All right, now I think what I'm going to do is lightly spray this front and back with a little bit of water so it gets pliable again. And then I'll place this in here where I want the flowers to be. Yep, I think I want it right there. Put it down. It's too tight. Let's take out the one little shim here. Here we go. I don't know what this is going to look like, but you never know until you try, right? And I can always make more of these. All right. I'm clear off the screen, so here we go. Oh my. I really like that. Look at that. Hang on, let me dry it real quick because it's a little wet. Oh my. Now, what I could do is take a little bit of ink and kind of rub over those spots. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. I don't know if I want to press my luck with this one or not, because it really came out nice. I think the trick was spraying a little bit of water on it. Oh, wow. That is so pretty. Can you guys see that? Can you see how pretty that is? I wonder, wilted violet. If I just put a little bit on here and there, not the whole thing. I'm just using my finger to dab it on. I don't want to get it too close to the purple flowers that are already there. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's so pretty. Wipe my finger off here. That is just really gorgeous. Really gorgeous. Let's put something on this one. I don't want to use the same folder because this is a much bigger pattern. It could take something a little busier. Let's see. Let's see. What do I have here? Those are holiday. Ooh. There are some clocks. Let's see, what else have I got in here? Not that. There's some like fleur-de-lis. These are pretty. I really do like that one. I've used that a lot. All right, let's look. I'm sure of these we can find one that works best. All right, let's see, put that in there. I don't know if I like it because you're only getting the partials on the clocks. That's pretty. And that's pretty. Huh. I'm going to pass on that one. So it's between these two, the busier one or the more fleur-de-lis looking. I think I want to try the busier one. I just want to see how it comes out. Let me spray this real quick. And I'm just doing a light spray. I'm not doing anything. There we go. There's that. Let's bring this back up. See if I can get it in here more where you guys can see it. And I don't know why, but I usually run things through twice, and I'm not sure why. I don't know that it makes a difference. It's just my little quirky thing. All right, let's put this down. It is really busy, but let's dry it real quick. Yeah, I think I like the less busy, but I don't know. It's pretty. It's pretty. Look at that. Huh. I'm just wondering if I need to add some additional color. I don't want to take away from the flower. Now these I added because there was a lot of extra space and I just put purple in there. But this one, if I did anything, it would be just around the edge. And I would do like a vintage photo. I think this is going to get down in the... You kind of like just inking up the edges, but it's going to bring out the pattern a little more, not a lot. Now, the other thing you could do is make frames for these and put them in frame like a specimen card. Now, if I do all the area outside of the flower, that might be okay too. I don't think I want to get it inside the flower because I think this flower doesn't stand out a whole lot anyway. In fact, what I might be tempted to do if it gets light shining through it, it stands out just fine. But when you lay it down on something, it doesn't. And so what I might be tempted to do is get get one of my Intense pencils in a purple and just kind of go around it's this one that we want, mauve. Yep. And you can wet these to make the color stand out even more, but I think it's doing just fine. Dry, I don't know. I might try taking a tiny brush and putting some ink on it, see what it does. Maybe give it a little more shading around the petals. Now you might say, well, that's not really the pressed flower anymore. Well, it is. I'm just enhancing it. And I could do this on any of these other ones if there were areas that weren't dark enough. You know, once you get them through the gluing and embossing, if that's what you're going to do. Yeah, if you look at, like, here's where I haven't, and here's where I have inked up, and you can really see a difference. And if you don't have Intense pencils, you could use any kind of a colored pencil because you don't have to, like these they react to water, so I can put water on them, but you don't have to do that. All right, there's that. Let's take a tiny, tiny little brush. There we go. This is the one I want. And just a little bit of water, not much. And I'm pulling that color just slightly in towards the center so it gives a little bit of shading. Don't have to do that all the way around, but at the top of the petal, it's nice. So you can always add to any image. I mean, this goes for anything that you put on your artwork. If it's I've had digital images that I've put on and they just didn't stand out enough, and so I'll take my pencil and lightly go around with pencil and darken up and add some shadow. I'm liking this with a little bit of water on it. I liked it without the water too, but it just gives a little bit of extra shading. A little bit of extra shading. You could do this with a water brush. I find that I get too much water out of the water brush and it floods my piece, and I don't like this. I'm using hardly any water at all. Just enough to get it to move a little bit. All right. So there it is. And you can see that do this one real quick. You can see that those petals look a little more defined. Maybe I didn't get these right here. All right, look at that. Isn't that sweet? And then it's got the, the vintage photo around the edge. And then I could go in with something even darker if I wanted to, right around the edge. But I like how it's kind of wonky. It's not straight. All right. So let's look at what we did. We've got this one that I like so much better now because it was kind of plain. But it's got the embossing and it's got the little bit of shading with the purple. We've got this one that has the embossing. And then it's got, the edges of the flowers darkened up with the water pencil. And then vintage photo around the edge. I've got this one that's really grungy, which I love. I'll have to put some dark ink around the edge of that when I go to use it. That'll make a great tag. And then, what did I do? Knock it on the floor. I had my favorite one sitting right here to show you last, and it has jumped off my desk onto the floor. And there it is. I really, really, really love this one. And see, the two pieces of tea bag didn't line up exactly. It's kind of wonky, but I love it. So those are the 4. I may sit here and do some more because this really is a lot of fun. I hope you give it a try with whatever supplies you have. If you don't have exactly the same thing as I do, that's okay. You do need some dried flowers. Now, I suppose you could do it if you had paper flowers too, but they're not as delicate and they're not going to give you the same results. So, like I said, I will put my links to the flowers that I bought. I will put in the description. And you can, buy one or some of them or all of them to use in a project like this. And then just get some tea bags, some embossing folders. I could do some stamping over this if I wanted to. If I wanted to put a little script on here, you can do anything. I love this one. These are my 2 favorites. I love them. All right. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. If you liked this, please give me a thumbs up. Oh, and this does, I'll pick one of these to use in my Scavenger Hunt journal, and that will take something from nature and tissue paper, wherever that is on here. It's on here somewhere because this really is tissue paper. So that'll take care of 2 of the prompts. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. Give me a thumbs up if you would. And I would love to hear your comment. Have you tried this technique? Have you seen it before? What do you think? I will catch you in the next video. Bye.